I'm originally from Puerto Rico, grew up there, and originally moved to Minnesota to teach. I had a pre-doctoral fellowship to teach at Carleton, and since then I've been a consultant working in philanthropy and advising worker power organizations, but labor unions and nonprofits that center on workplace empowerment, and work as a political strategist and political commentator here in Minnesota as well. I learned that being a Puerto Rican in these suburbs was not a deficit, that it was an asset. And when I talk to young people, I think that one of the things I stress to young people of color is that we are told all the time in the society to understand our diversity as a challenge. And in many ways that is, but I think for our own selves and our own mental health, thinking of our identities as superpowers that give us the ability to look on the outside, from the outside looking in. One of the big takeaways of the election for the Latino community generally, nationally, and Minnesota is just that we are a very plural and diverse community. And here in Minnesota, right, that we saw, I think, with the election, enormous mobilization of Latino voters, and especially youth and young voters, and that makes me very excited. And I think taking the lessons, the national lessons about the plurality of our communities, I think is what we should think of, and how do we apply that in thinking of how do we make strides for our communities, right? And we would be incredibly powerful as a social force and in elections as a voting bloc if the various silos that we live in were broken down more. We sometimes are in positions, and Latino professionals are in positions often and in rooms where low-wage workers who are Latinos are not in those rooms, or they may clean those rooms. And if we are not just knowledgeable of, Josefina, who is cleaning that room, but actually know her, are connected to, there's a different level to which our advocacy and the good that we can bring into the world. And so that's what my hope would be, is that as for Latino Lead and for our communities here in Minnesota, is that we break down silos, that people get connected to each other more and more, and that does not mean we erase our differences, but we understand them, and we are in relationship with each other, so we know each other, and I think that's enormously powerful.